Federal guidelines for reopening the country. Tonight, how will it work and how quickly? What the states must do, must show before they can even begin to reopen. They must show their coronavirus cases on a downward trajectory, that a testing plan is in place, a system for testing as we reopen our economy. Will there be temperature checks where Americans work in large groups? The president now telling governors they will call the shots in their own states. All of this as the death toll across this country jumps to a disturbing new high tonight. More than 600 lives lost in the last 24 hours here in New York. An extraordinary number, but still the lowest they have seen in days. In Los Angeles, in Washington, D.C., authorities already extending the shutdown until mid-May today. But across the country, the competing signals. The governor of Ohio already planning to ease some restrictions. In South Dakota, a state that never issued a stay-at-home order, that major outbreak at a food processing plant. Hundreds sickened, now the largest cluster in the nation. And tonight, many hospitals across the country, doctors and nurses still stretched to the limit. The moment one doctor has to step out of the ER, she says it was too much. Also developing tonight, the horrific toll on some of the most vulnerable. New reporting on a terrible discovery, at least 15 found dead in a small morgue at one New Jersey nursing home. Police tipped off when more body bags were requested. 68 dead since just January, 2 nurses among the victims. Tonight, the investigation. The financial toll on American families growing tonight. The new numbers just in. Now 22 million Americans out of a job in the last month. More than 5 million workers filing unemployment claims in just the last week. The food lines across this country, even as some food has to be thrown out. As we continue to ask, is there a way to get some of that food to the people who need it? Overseas tonight, the UK forced to extend its lockdown. Millions now bracing for the peak there as their prime minister continues his recovery. And news tonight on the gender divide there and around the world. The breakdown between men and women and this virus and why it's so stark. And Dr. Jen Ashton standing by with your questions tonight.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Thursday night. President Trump just moments ago saying it is time for the next front in this war, were his words. It is time to open up America again, saying we have to do it, that Americans want to be open again, adding Americans can defeat any challenge, that we will carry our nation forward. President Trump offering new federal guidelines, allowing governors to take a phased opening, saying he has worked with the governors, Democrats and Republicans, that they have a good relationship. Dr. Deborah Birx will spell out the guidelines shortly. Among the first steps, governors will be expected to show a downward trajectory of cases within a 14-day period. The president says this will be a gradual process. Of course, he's certainly aware of the numbers. The death toll in the U.S. now topping 32,000. Here in New York, Governor Cuomo extending his stay-at-home order, a pause here in the state until at least May 15th now. Even with another 600 deaths here in New York, the hospitalization rate still dropping. The governor says he is very concerned a reopening of the state too soon would drive up the infection rate, saying increased testing right now is what's needed before we can get people back to work. New unemployment numbers out tonight. Another 5 million Americans filing for benefits, now 22 million losing their jobs in the last month. Families in need in long lines at food banks. This line right here in Dallas just today. The president said moments ago some states will open sooner than others, saying they are not facing the same situation, saying Americans will have to telework. Those who are sick must stay home. Americans will have to keep a safe distance. So how will this work as we all try to navigate this road ahead? ABC's Whit Johnson leading us off.
Tonight, President Trump unveiling long-awaited guidelines to reopen America, but making it clear the governors will call the shots.
We're opening up our country, and we have to do that. America wants to be open, and Americans want to be open.
The president's guidelines call for a phased approach. States would be able to move to phase 1 after they see a 2-week decline in the number of people with COVID symptoms and in the percentage of people testing positive for the virus. They would also need to implement a robust testing program for healthcare workers, including emergency antibody testing. Once a state can check those boxes, people would still be advised to maintain social distancing and avoid socializing in groups of more than 10. But businesses could look at ways to slowly return to work. If states are able to go 2 weeks without a rebound of COVID cases, they can move to phase 2, where you could see places like restaurants, movie theaters, and bars reopening with social distancing protocols.
One careful step at a time. And some states will be able to open up sooner than others. Some states are not in the kind of trouble that others are in.
The guidelines come as New York, Los Angeles, and Washington, D.C. extend their shutdowns until at least May 15th.
What happens after then, I don't know. No political decisions, no emotional decisions, data and science. We're talking about human lives here.
Here, the numbers are heading in the right direction, but slowly.
The bad news is 2,000 people walked into a hospital yesterday for the first time with the disease. And the worst news is 600 people died yesterday from the disease.
Doctors like Melanie Malloy in a relentless battle for weeks.
I have a great babysitter who helps me a lot, but sometimes it's a little bit hard.
She takes us inside the emergency department at Mount Sinai, Brooklyn.
Most of our beds are taken up by intubated patients, meaning patients who can't breathe on their own and who are on the ventilator.
Dr. Malloy telling me today she's encouraged that fewer patients are coming in, but says one of the most difficult parts of the job, treating her own colleagues who've fallen ill.
So I just needed to get out of the ED for a little bit. Sometimes you just got to step out for a second.
New York banding together with 6 other states to plan for reopening. Out west, California, Oregon, and Washington forging a similar alliance. And now a new coalition of 7 Midwestern states, including Ohio, where Governor Mike DeWine today announced a plan for some businesses to reopen on May 1st.
We must get people back to work.
Governor DeWine brandishing a mask his wife Fran made for him. He was one of the first governors to act on the COVID threat. Tonight, governors and health officials alike agree the key to the future is testing and tracking the contacts of people who are infected to prevent further spread.
I work for Salt Lake County Health Department.
Salt Lake City says its team of 130 tracers has successfully tracked 85% of the cases in the community.
What date did you start to feel like you had some kind of symptoms?
Massachusetts unveiling its own ambitious plans to hire 1,000 people for contact tracing. But some unwilling to wait. Protests erupting from Minnesota to Oklahoma to Michigan in defiance of social distancing guidelines.
The sad irony here is that the protest was that they don't like being in this stay-home order, and they may have just created a need to lengthen it.
There's going to be so many different calls across this country as governors have to look at their own conditions in their own states. With Johnson back with us tonight, and Whit, I wanted to get back to what the president said just as we came on the air tonight. He called it the next front in this war, opening up America again, and he called it a science-based reopening, and made a point of saying some states will open sooner than ever.
And David, once again, President Trump is focused on our borders, saying, quote, we must be extra vigilant in blocking the foreign entry of the virus, adding that border control, travel restrictions, and other limitations are more important than ever. He also pointed to the data, saying that 30% of the counties in this country have reported no new cases of coronavirus in the last 7 days. David?
All right, Whit Johnson leading us off on the news tonight from the president. Whit, thank you. We have reported here for several weeks now on the awful toll on nursing homes and senior centers across this country. And tonight, the fast-moving police investigation now after the discovery at a nursing home in Andover, New Jersey. The bodies of 15 people found in a holding area, a small morgue, only discovered after they requested more body bags. 68 deaths at that one facility alone, including 2 nurses. ABC's Stephanie Ramos is on the scene tonight.
Tonight, families outraged after a grim discovery inside this 500-bed nursing home in Andover, the largest in New Jersey. The bodies of 15 residents held in a small morgue meant to hold just 4 people.
They were overcome by bodies, and we needed to be able to help them.
It started with a desperate call over the weekend for 24 body bags, then an anonymous tip to police. The town eventually using this box truck to help retrieve the dead. In all, 66 residents have died at the facility since January. 33 are confirmed to have died from the virus, along with 2 nurses.
I feel like my uncle died, probably gasping for air.
Beth Ganji tells us her 78-year-old uncle Larry, a resident, went to the hospital with a fever but was sent back to the nursing home. She says the family was told he was okay, but for days could not get an update. 4 days later, Larry died. Beth says a nurse later told her he was found in his bed.
There was nobody there to hold his hand, nobody there to pray for him.
The virus sweeping through nursing homes across the country, killing nearly 4,000 in states that have tracked the death toll. 22 at this nursing home in Joliet, Illinois, where the family of Gerald Francis says they only learned he had the virus after he died.
I don't know how much he suffered. How much did he suffer? I don't even know.
Tonight, the deaths at this New Jersey nursing home are under investigation.
We're going to have to figure out what went on here. Did they take all the steps necessary up front for protective equipment for the staff? Did they make sure they put everyone, segregate out those who were positive?
All really important questions. Stephanie is with us tonight, and I know you're now hearing from the owner of that nursing home.
We are, David. The owner says the staff is working around the clock, and he calls the nursing team heroic in their efforts to contain the virus and safeguard the residents. He also says the health and safety of the residents and his staff are his top priority. David.
All right, Stephanie Ramos tonight. Stephanie, thank you. The toll on American families growing tonight. Another 5.2 million Americans out of work, filing unemployment claims last week. 22 million in just the last month. Tonight, hear the food lines and that question we've been asking for days now. Can the food that some farmers have been forced to throw out, to destroy, can it be delivered to families in need? Here's ABC's Steve Osunsami.
The bread lines keep getting longer tonight. Thousands who need a helping hand are lined up for food in Texas, Pennsylvania, and Louisiana. Monica Bell and Jennifer Wright, who came to this food bank in Memphis, say that their $1,200 stimulus checks have already been spent on the rent.
It's really hard, and I barely can take it. I can't take it no more. I can't sleep at nighttime and nothing.
Charlie Chadwick, who lives with his girlfriend in suburban Phoenix, says that by the time his stimulus check hit, his bank account was already overdrawn.
For me, it was already spent because I was in the negatives because of bills, because of my power bill and my car insurance bill.
The government says that 80 million Americans were paid, but we're learning that some of those payments were sent to the wrong accounts because of wrong information.
The account that they had deposited to was one number off from my account.
The website stated that the check was deposited into my bank account. Well, that particular bank account is closed, and I haven't used it in years.
People are angry at what happened at USAA, the bank used by many military service members and veterans. They were keeping stimulus money from soldiers and using it to pay off existing debts. After hearing the outrage, the bank changed its mind, saying that they will now pause the collection of a negative account balance so that members will have access to their stimulus funds. Small business owners applying for loans today are learning that the government money ran out last night. Marcos Rivera in Chicago says the clock is ticking and he might not have a restaurant to save.
If I don't get those funds, I don't know. We keep on trying to push through and see how long we can make it.
The disruption to the way Americans put food on the table is massive. And at one of the largest pork processing plants in the country, an outbreak of the coronavirus has shut it down. 598 essential workers at the South Dakota plant are sick, and the CDC was there today.
Steve Osunsami back with us tonight, live from Atlanta. And Steve, we remember those images you reported on earlier in the week, farmers forced to throw away food, dumping milk. We were stunned when we saw these images. We know that they have to do that given the circumstances, but of course everyone watching this at home wanted to know, is there a way to get some of that food to the families in need? The White House has been pressed on this. What have you learned?
Well, we've heard from a number of viewers who are, of course, moved by that story of the Florida tomato farmer who donated more than 1 million pounds of his ripe tomatoes to food banks, food that would have otherwise gone to waste. The Trump administration tonight is saying that they're working on this. They have a plan to buy food from farmers and ship it to food banks. But our farmer in Florida says that none of this will happen soon enough for him. His crops are coming in now. David?
Yeah, we got to get this moving and quickly, and you'll keep us posted, Steve. Thank you. As President Trump here in this country talks about that phased-in reopening of the economy, tonight the UK just extending its lockdown for at least 3 more weeks, as the Prime Minister, who was slow to enact any lockdown at all, continues his recovery from the virus. And tonight, the UK reporting a trend we've seen in other countries, men dying at nearly twice the rate of women. Ian Pannell from London tonight.
Tonight, Britain locked down for at least 3 more weeks.
The worst thing that we could do right now is to ease up too soon, allow a second peak of the virus to hit the NHS and hit the British people.
The government here under pressure to say how and when they'll lift the lockdown. Today, the UK Health Secretary responding angrily to questions.
This core messaging of stay at home to protect the NHS to save lives, that has a direct impact on how many people follow the guidelines.
Just
that
so
has
a final brief then, Phil.
let me finish this answer.
Still absent from the public debate, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who was discharged from hospital a week ago, but still recuperating from the virus, thanking healthcare workers for saving his life. But many not so lucky. Government experts have analysed the deaths of almost 4,000 people from COVID-19 in March. They found men had a significantly higher rate of death, double that of women.
There are a number of theories as to why men are more susceptible. One is lifestyle. Men are more likely to smoke, drink and have underlying health problems. And the other is cultural. Men sometimes try to tough it out and are much later seeking medical help. David?
There's going to be a lot of study on this ahead. Ian Pannell, our thanks to you again tonight as well. And when we come back here, Dr. Jen Ashton and your questions, what will this reopening look like? Will there be temperature checks if you work around large groups? Will you need to get tested before you go back to work? We'll take a look at this coming up and more on the passing of a well-known actor.
If you have moderate to severe psoriasis, little things can become your big moment. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not a cream. It's a pill that treats plaque psoriasis differently. With Otezla, 75% clearer skin is achievable. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Otezla, show more of you.
My son really had to be head of the household because I became a dependent. My tip is, every time I wanted to smoke a cigarette, I would think of my children.
For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.